I don't think Vince was there for that, Sarah. Go to a stiffer pole. Oh, you were sleeping in, Vince? Let's go. Punch, 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 punch. Good. Go up and grip. All right, let's go, Greg. You got to jump up. Good. All right, Greg, let's go to a 4-step drill 2. Oh, here comes Vince. Watch out. All right, but that's good. You're getting your grip up, right? 1450? No, you have to go to a stiffer pole. 55. Backward rolls into handstands. We're going to do rings. All right, so your choice is we're going to start with rope climbs. You don't have a choice, actually. You're going to start with rope climbs.
It's right there, but you're not pulling the trigger. You're ready to go, and you go, oh, no, I can't do that. It never works that way, not in this one.
Coach Al just said what I spoke to you about the other day is your grip is a little too wide.
Jump it up, go. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that I like what I saw. Are you going to finish the damn jump?
Let's move it in a little bit. You should be, what, 8'6"? Let's get comfortable with you at 8'6", then move you out. All right, Greg, let's go. Come on, spring up more. You've got to lift. I'm going to warm up. It'll take me a while. Grow old along with me, the best is yet to be. Well, it just makes me think that nothing's gonna get in the way of me living and doing and being old. Yeah, hi, this is Jerry. I'm calling to confirm my appointment tomorrow at noon. Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, bye. This is a percussor. You put it on you in different positions of your lungs. It helps break up the congestion. My oxygen stats drop a lot at night, so I have to sleep with oxygen. What's good about this too is it's got a long cable. It's noisy, I can put it outside. Like a dog on a leash. Every day I use a lot of these medications and I use them multiple times. The Albuterol I use probably 5 times a day. I do it twice in the nebulizer and then I have an inhaler that I use. I also inhale hypertonic saline, which is Hypersol, this guy here. And I use that twice a day. And if I'm sick, I'll use it 3 times. And when I'm on antibiotics, which are right now I'm on the Azole, the Astrianam, and I do this 3 times a day, which is done through the PARI. Okay. So the mist comes out. Remove the wound. When I inhale the medicine. So this is Albuterol, and the vest rattles your chest like that. I like TV. I'm in magazine. I'm a jail. I don't talk when I'm doing it. Okay. And now I'm going to do the antibiotic. Well, you just get used to it. I mean, when you grow up with an illness and this is what you have to do to stay alive, It becomes a way of life, like when you get up in the morning and you brush your teeth.
Hi, Jerry. How are you?
Good, and you?
Good. You feeling okay?
Yeah, not bad. I'm just a little more short of breath. I get the tightness getting across my back.
Okay.
But,
Now, when is the last time you finished IV antibiotics?
just about a month ago.
Okay. And do you
So-
feel that you had a benefit from the IVs? Did they help?
I didn't feel much better, so I just tried to start exercising a little more.
Cystic fibrosis is a genetic disease inherited from both parents, and the disease affects mainly the respiratory and the digestive tracts. People with CF produce excessive amounts of mucus, and the mucus is very thick, so it really lines the airways almost like cement. So when people cough to clear mucus from their lungs, in CF that doesn't happen spontaneously. Because the mucus is so thick, it doesn't really move. Patients need to spend quite a bit of time inhaling medications to help break up that thick mucus and then forcing themselves to cough, usually using a variety of devices like the vest or the flutter valve. The mucus is not cleared, it interferes with breathing because it's obstructing airflow, and it also serves as a nidus of infection. They get more frequent infections if they're not clearing that mucus out. And it's a progressive disease, meaning that over time, the lung disease gets worse. Oftentimes to the point where patients need oxygen and oftentimes a lung transplant.
A big problem of mine is I'm very resistant to a lot of the medications. I mean, I'm older with CF, so you know, that's probably my biggest problem now and why I'll probably get a transplant sooner than later because the medications don't work that well. Because I've been using them for so many years, you build up a resistance.
The first room, the boys' room? Okay, let's go. What's in there that's of any interest? This photo here was taken of Jerry on his pole vault abilities. Jerry was chosen for the Olympic stamp, although I have it upside down because I chose to do that. He said, "Mom, it's supposed to be the other way around, but I preferred this because I can really see him flying in the clouds." Jerry was a delightful little boy, a very inquisitive little boy. He always wanted to know what made the clock tick, what made this work, and what made that work. At times, he was a pain in the neck. He asked so many questions. He was treated for a few years as an asthmatic, but that one year he wound up in the hospital with pneumonia for the third time. One of the doctors that wasn't on his case heard him coughing. He didn't name the problem, but he asked if we would be open to subject Jerry to a sweat test, which we did. And that was what determined he had cystic fibrosis.
Hello, I'm Joey Bishop, National Chairman of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Every 2 hours, a child is born with cystic fibrosis, which clogs the lungs and digestive system. Without early diagnosis and proper medical care, only half will survive to school age.
I grew up in the dark ages, as I call it. The technology back then was terrible. When you got sick, you had to go in the hospital for 14 days. I had to sleep in, it was called a mist tent, because they thought the moisture would help clear up your congestion. The doctors never promoted exercise. You know, I could be the bubble boy and sit me at home and sit on the couch. And most of the people I grew up with CF, they're all gone. They're not alive anymore.
Although I respected all the doctors and their opinions, his father and I determined we would never treat him different from the three brothers and the sister. And that's what we did. Jerry just was one of the group.
When he was a kid, he was growing up with all these brothers and sisters. He wasn't treated any differently. You know, he had to fight for what was his at the dinner table, and they really pushed him, and he pushed himself to get involved in sports.
My dad was on the minors for the Boston Red Sox. And he tried out for the Olympic hockey team when he was 16 years old. Well, I wasn't good in any sports really growing up.
He got involved in football. He didn't last a season.
My dad put me on the teams with my older brothers because he thought that would be good for me. My brother was a halfback. My father said, well, Jerry's going to be a halfback. I had to run through those holes, and I would get demolished.
And his father said, well, I guess that's it, Jerry. Football's out. Then he went on to baseball, and he played a short season of baseball, but then he got hit in the eye.
And ended up in the emergency room with my eye swollen and black and blue.
And that kind of took care of baseball. The big thing happened for him when he went to Xaverian High School. He discovered pole vaulting.
Real good ball. That was much better. Real good.
I had about 6 kids showed up for the practice, and Jerry Cahill was one of them. I made him run a couple of sprints and do this and that and the other thing. Jerry was a very skinny little kid, and in the process of running, Jerry was coughing and wheezing, and I don't know if he weighed 80 pounds at the time. And I knew nothing about cystic fibrosis. Didn't put the 2 and 2 together. I thought Jerry was going to fall down and die on the spot. And I said to Jerry, I think you ought to go to your doctor and make sure that you can do this and bring me a note. And he goes, oh, yeah, I can do that.
But the coach was relentless. He never gave up on Jerry. Jerry was very flattered by that. And he himself then became disciplined because he did not want CF to hold him back.
Jerry worked for everything he got. He worked inordinately long hours to develop his skill, and consequently his plant and things like that were superior.
It really was probably the best thing in the world for me because I didn't know it was a good thing for CF. The doctors never promoted exercise. But because of all the exercise throughout high school and college, I was never hospitalized for CF.
He worked very hard, he loved the event, and he got very good at it. And consequently got a scholarship towards UConn.
I studied hard. I competed in college for 4 years. During the summer, I was working at a restaurant, and somebody mentioned to me once that I should model. So I went to an agency called William Schuler Talent. They liked my look, and I was shooting JCPenney, Burger King, Cub Scout ads, Sears Roebuck, underwear things, and I was clueless.
He was a good-looking guy. He had a couple of girls call him up, oh, I'm not home. He'd say, I'm not home.
I was dating a great girl, and she always would talk about getting married and having beautiful children with blue eyes and little blonde-haired towheads, she'd call them. And she didn't even know I had CF. I told her one night, and I said, well, it's a respiratory thing, but for the most part, I'm fine. I said, but one thing you should know is that I can't have children. She's like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, I'm sterile. It's part of the disease. She kind of freaked out, and she left the room. She was like, well, listen, you know, I'm really sorry, but it means too much to me to have my own children. Does it affect your relationship? Yeah, it affects them. It has. I mean, listen, I'm beyond that. I'm 53. You know, it's affected my relationships. It's probably, in a lot of ways, scarred me. But that is what it is. You know, what am I going to do? You can't, what's that saying? You can't cry over spilt milk? No. Perfect day for vaulting, guys. You got a little tailwind. Get her step. Somebody. Were you up late?
Not really.
Oh, you look a little tired. All right, Matt, let's go. Hit it. It's only 12-6. Don't be a wuss. Swing up. Okay, it was sloppy. It's sloppy and lazy. That's a big pole. Now you're in your weight. What do you weigh, 180? Oh, 150. Okay. There you go, Eddie.
If I could find out where Coach Cahill got his positive attitude and mannerisms from, I'd like to meet that person. If I come down with a really slow run, bad jump, he'll be like, "You're like dripping off a dead tree, Greg. Lift your legs. You're sitting on your ass."
Okay, what happened? The pole won. Pushing with your chest. Chest, chest, chest. No, you look down. Do not look down. Keep lifting, think lift. Come on, Claire. That's it, you're there. Back, that's it. You see the difference? This is important, you need this for states. Make sure you're all hydrating, especially with the hot weather. Greg, you need to eat more protein.
I know.
I've been coaching for about 30 years, and I love coaching. It's a lot of fun. It's very rewarding and fulfilling, but it's not my career. It's difficult for people with cystic fibrosis to really hold down a career because you get sick a lot. So I got out of college and I went to an employment agency, and they saw that I had done modeling and acting and that I sold business products. They thought, well, I'd be perfect for the apparel industry.
He ran a department in Macy's, setting up men's clothing, and he was a perfectionist.
Everything was codified, organized, listed, fun and selling out front, but behind it was military precision.
It became like an obsession because he was so intense and he was so passionate about what he did. It was just contagious.
I was Rookie of the Year, Salesman of the Year, and I was very focused on my career and didn't exercise as much, and then I ended up going in the hospital. It just was a lot more work for me. I could remember traveling and, hitting 3 cities in a week with my boss. Then I'd have to go out to dinners, get home to my hotel room. I'm thinking everybody else is going to bed. I got to do my medications. I had IVs. Then I have to get up earlier in the morning.
It was draining him, the exhaustion of traveling and traveling. But nobody in the company ever knew he was sick.
I was actually up for a promotion to be senior vice president to oversee like a $120 million business.
So in a very ceremonial way, I brought him into my office, sat him down, told him I wanted him to become senior vice president of sales, took his salary up dramatically, took his compensation package up dramatically, and he sat quiet for a second. And that's the first time I learned he had cystic fibrosis.
And I said to him, I can't take the job, I'm sick. I was on a transplant list. I said that I really shouldn't take the job, it wouldn't be a good thing. I stayed about 3 months and finished working at the company, and I went out on disability.
The story about him leaving the company, whatever you may think, I'm sure you don't know the truth. We had to kick him out. He wanted to stay, but he was getting more advanced with the disease. And we made the decision that it was really in Jerry's best interest to have him not work with us anymore. But he went out kicking and screaming because he loved the company. And I have to say, whatever decline, if any, he may have experienced, he was still at the top of his game.
It varies now. I'll start going almost every day, 5-6 days a week in the morning. And then I work out in the afternoon, running or the gym.
main complication with lung transplant is the development of chronic rejection. Since the donor lung is really a foreign body, the patient with CF who has the transplant can have a rejection of those lungs.
If we put a lung into somebody, the body says, this is not from my own body. I'm going to try to kick it out because it doesn't know it's not just a huge infection. To keep the body from rejecting the lungs, you have to take the immune system and beat it down so it doesn't attack the foreign invader. By decreasing that immune system, you make somebody very prone to infections. A regular common cold, which can be nothing for me or you, can be devastating in a lung transplant if it's not recognized quickly and taken care of.
Oh, fuck.
You really don't want to get a transplant unless it's life-threatening. A lot of people get a double lung transplant and they don't come off the table.
Life on disability it's existing, it's okay. It's not what I would want to be doing. You know, I'm just training to stay alive. You have to be disciplined. But you know, it kind of shuts you off a little bit from the world. A lot of IV antibiotics, it gets to the point you have no more veins left, or the veins break down. So the easiest way when you go on a lot of IV antibiotics is to get a Metaport. And it's surgically implanted, and then you can use this every time that you go on IV antibiotics. And this takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours to go in. Yeah, right there.
No, you're moving out 3. That's it. You gotta lift and go. You can do this. You gotta whip your trail leg quicker. As soon as you take off, whip. And really step up into it. All right, Claire. It's a nice attempt. Very nice. You did a great job, Claire. PR, big pole, you're on the 40. You can go to a bigger pole too.
Big grip.
Big grip, okay? You ran down, you hit that takeoff, and you just flew. Everything's moving forward. That's a great job, really good. You should be very happy. You're gonna have to get your t-shirt now and a half.
Jerry's been very active athletically all of his life, and I think that that really has played an important role in how healthy he is. And his age compared to other patients with cystic fibrosis. Aggressive aerobic exercise really helps with airway clearance. Exercising causes a lot of coughing. It causes patients to take a lot of deep breaths, and that all helps that thick, sticky mucus come out of the lungs.
Tomorrow I'm competing in the nationals for pole vault. You know, it takes my mind off a lot of the CF and gets me back into that little competitive spirit. Now I have another nebulizer to do. Just can't go to bed like I'd like to. All right. Oh. These all have to be sterilized now. Yeah, so I went to, at my transplant meeting, I had to go see the psychiatrist. Normally I blow the guy off. And I was like, well, everything kind of sucks right now. I don't know, I've been having like a really bad month, and I never have get depressed. I've been on disability now 5 years, and all of a sudden it's kind of hitting me now. It's just being kind of caged in, I think. I don't really have a choice. I mean, I'm waiting for a transplant. So I guess that's reality setting in on certain things. I try to focus on just running down, forgetting the pain, forgetting the breathing, and just jump up in the air. I block everything out. I think of the perfect jump. Think of the perfect run, the perfect pole plant, the swing, getting inverted, spiraling, turning, and clearing the bar. We just try to block everything out. Done. Boy, I haven't started, and I'm out of breath. Nice facility.
Yeah, it's very nice. Just the first time you've been up?
Yeah, to this one, yeah.
He may not have the blinding speed that some of these other vaulters will have today, but he will have a better technique than any of them. Unfortunately, this is a sport that requires a lot of speed. The more speed you can put into the run, the higher you can hold on the pole, higher heights you'll make.
There's some good jumpers in our group. Isn't there a couple of 14-footers?
15 and then 13-6.
Really? Younger people, they look at this and say, wow, look at these old guys running around, they're crazy. But this is as meaningful to me and a lot of these people here as it is to a high school or college kid competing in one of their big championships.
is the best time of year. Is when the pulse fades out, you're going with it.
Just got to get to the next height now.
You were right on your takeoff. Whoa, it's over. This is it. Ah!
But by age group, or is that all overall?
Yeah, because the age groups are here. And
Oh, okay, okay.
there are two age groups.
It was still fun.
And he's 55? Somebody said?
Plus, yeah. Yeah. Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations, nice job.
Thank you very much.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's working? Hi, I'm Jerry Cahill. I'm 54 years old with cystic fibrosis, and I'm a volunteer at the Boomer Esiason Foundation. But if we're in fur that won't be blocked by the wind? Oh, great, now there's a f***ing horn. Hi, I'm Jerry Cahill. I'm 54 years old with cystic fibrosis and a volunteer at the Boomer Esiason Foundation. Ruff, ruff! Just welcome to CF Windsprings. Okay. Hi, this is Jerry Cahill, and welcome to CF Windsprings. Today's question comes from Peter Mitchell, all the way from Rockford, England. And Peter wants to know about exercising while in the hospital. We're trying to promote exercise at the Boomer Esiason Foundation in a major way. I mean, exercise, running, playing soccer, swimming, not like great strides where you're just walking for a cause. We want people running. I received a Facebook message today from James in Michigan asking about working out on the road. Well, James, it's very important to work out on the road. You need to keep up your routine. I use the flutter, I use the vest, I use a percussor, and as you know, I do a lot of jogging and exercise to keep my lungs clear.
Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
What is this line again?
I received an email from Lisa regarding jogging with oxygen. I use an email. I received a tweet from Andrew in Georgia. Georgia. I'm sorry. So, okay, just remember, I'll ask you a question. You'll just say, you just kind of start with the question, okay? How does running help you with your health?
My doctor is blown away by how healthy I have kept myself. I hardly ever get sinus infections anymore, and it makes you feel so much better than if you were not exercising.
Maybe a younger person sees me running the marathon, they'll think, hey, she is CF, she's running the marathon, how did she do that? And they'll start running maybe, hopefully, that's my hope. I want them to realize that running will make a huge impact.
We usually play like football, basketball, or we play at the beach, we go surfing together.
I want you to talk a little bit about how you get a lot of exercise and keep your lungs clear.
I'll try to go to the gym as much as possible, do sit-ups, push-ups, pull-ups, wherever I can, some type of physical exercise that keeps me in a routine.
What were your lung functions before you started running?
My lung function before I started running, my FEV1 was actually around 50% and my FVC was in the 60s.
And then after you started running and prior to the marathon, what were your lung functions?
2 months before the marathon, my FEV1 was 109 and my FVC was 126.
Wow, that's awesome.
You're out in the world doing such good for so many people and touching lives that you're not even aware of. Oh, Mom, cut it out.
I don't get scared by having cystic fibrosis because other people have it and they've had it a long time probably. And that makes me feel better when I watch videos about other people because it makes me get encouraged that I can do stuff like them, and that's...
I was very involved in sports, which is probably a key factor that's kept me healthy up till the ripe age of 54. I'll be 55 in a couple of months. And the doctors told my parents, well, your son's probably not going to live to his 16th birthday, 18th. My father was very athletic, that my father said, well, if Jerry's not going to be around, he wants me to spend a lot of time with my brothers. And my brothers were very good baseball players. Unbeknownst to him and my family and myself, it was great because I was clearing out my lungs. I was coughing, and it really was probably the best thing in the world for me because the doctors really at that point in time, again, that was the dark ages, they never promoted exercise.
Besides your dad and your brothers, who else have been your inspirations?
Probably my coach. I remember, I showed up like, all right, I'm here to pole vault. And the coach didn't say this to me at the time, but he'll tell me we become very friendly. He said, Jerry, you showed up. He said, I didn't know what to do with you. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, I thought you were going to cough up a lung. He said, you were coughing all over. I thought you were going to choke to death. It just was amazing how he goes, you were terrible at first, terrible. And, he worked with me and got me over 16 feet. He was a big inspiration where he never gave up on me.
I want to thank you. I think as much as drugs, we need people like you who serve as an example. And I want to thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. You got him at 70? Yes! It's a much better pull for you. You really came up, you swung up nice and just extended beautifully. Come on, put it up. Oh, you gotta go on it. If you just shoot your legs up, you're gonna fire over it. Okay, listen, the pole is working fine. You're jumping on it now like you jumped on the other pole.
Yeah.
Okay? They're just too close for you.
Yeah,
I think you put them at 70.
Okay.
Okay, swing up and take the ride. Okay, nice jump. You know, it's funny, I'll talk to people and about my family and I'll joke around and say, oh, I have 10 kids. You have 10 kids? I didn't even know you were married. I coach 10 kids. A lot of height. We don't have a thing to measure a record. This is insane. Come on, Greg. Yo! Listen, that was your best jump ever. Those jumps were better than your jumps at the city championships. You're there now, I'm telling you.
Lead vehicle, are you ready?
Runners, on your marks.
When was your most recent visit to the lung transplant unit?
Oh, I was there a few weeks ago.
Okay, deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. Yeah, there's quite a bit of wheezing.
I had to stop 3 times from the parking lot. I mean, sitting, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's just hills or stairs, they kill me.
Wait, how much did you just say you weighed?
144.
Okay, then I'm going by my memory. So you were 157 back in August.
Yeah, I lost weight.
Wow, that's a lot of weight. I think you have to go to the nutritionist, Jerry. Jerry, you have to go to a nutritionist for that. You're losing too much weight.
Go to what nutritionist?
Yeah.
What nutritionist?
Well, there's one at Cornell. Put the mouthpiece in your mouth behind your teeth and seal your lips. Okay, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Blow out hard. Blow out, blow out. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. A little more, a little more, a little more, a little more. And deep breath in.
How much was it?
37%.
Oh.
Would you
All right,
like
that's
to do?
enough.
Yeah, I don't want to tire you out.
I don't need to get more depressed looking at that. The past few days, I'm noticing like I'm really getting
Out of breath, yeah. The other option is to keep you on the low dose of prednisone, 10 milligram daily.
All right, maybe I'll try that.
Yeah.
Because I don't have fevers or anything, it's just that I'm just getting really
Yeah,
thick.
but this looks infected. This,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Okay, no problem. Take care. Bye.
But it's just like I said, just the breathing thing is the thing that scares me. I mean, like if I'm this way with, 40 milligrams of prednisone and now Albuterol, I mean, how am I going to get off this stuff? I won't be able to breathe. All right, well, we'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully something kicks in. I'm live in the sense that if the lungs become available, then I will be called. I've lived with the disease all my life. I know what it's about. I know what transplant is all about. I'm very restricted in my breathing, and I have pretty much a constant pain across my back. I don't sleep through the night well. I sleep with oxygen at 8 liters. Years ago, I didn't sleep with oxygen, but it's progressive. The disease is progressive, and that's what having CF is. My lung function right now is 27%, and the problem is it's not going back up with the steroids and with the IV antibiotics.
Hi, Mr. Cahill. This is Nilani from Columbia Lung Transplant Program. I am calling to let you know that we have identified a set of lungs that look great on paper, and we believe that it is a match for you. We would love for you to come in.
Jerry came up about 2 weeks ago and sat me down and said, "Mother, I might get the call any day now. I'm on top of the list for a double lung transplant, but waiting on a phone call is a lot of anxiety." And I said, "Jerry, my bag's packed." He said, "Don't talk about it. Just keep it in the hallway." And that was it.
We'll start again.
Yeah.
Couldn't cut that.
That's probably Jimmy.
On that one, there's 51 minutes.
Wouldn't that be funny if it was Jerry? I'm waiting on a phone call. No, to run to the hospital. I've got a bag packed.
So I've gone through 6 dry runs now, and it's really a bit of an emotional roller coaster.
So the first phase of the lung transplant is deciding that it's a good organ. We prepare the task of getting their old lungs out so that we can get the new lungs in. One of the tricks for the lung transplant is keeping off the heart-lung machine and keeping the incisions or the cuts as small as possible without breaking or fracturing any bones. So how do you do that when you're taking both lungs out of the body and trying to get both lungs in? We can sneak in between the ribs and get access to the lungs. We'll take the right lung out, and we're using a ventilator to live on the left lung. Then we implant the new lung, use that to sustain the body, and we take out the left lung. So it's called bilateral sequential lung transplant.
Okay?
Good. That's it.
You got it. Oh, nice spikes, Matthew. Wow, yeah, you gotta tape it.
No, but do I have to tape the bottom?
You gotta tape the bottom, yeah. Greg, look. It's the backpack I got. Yeah, I got you one. It's in the car. Where's Al? I thought he was gonna be here at 12. Coach Al goes, well, what do you want to do when you come? Did you want to just coach them? I said, Al, no. I said, I've been away for 7 weeks. I said, I'm not, it's not, you've coached them now. I trust what you do. I said, I'll speak to you as they jump, and we'll collaborate on, and you tell them. I said, I'm not coming down to take over.
Here's what the problem is. Even if it's bending and rolling forward, gotta get back. Stay through the drive. Push it up, stay back with the leg, and at the last second, bring it through and come back.
Not jumping up. Al. Al, he's not springing up. He's submarining under it. You start to crunch and drop at it.
Yeah, you go like,
Spiral
you try to
up.
sneak over the bar like this
There's no
instead of going like
sneaking.
that.
Shoot. Go down 2 inches on the pole for your first takeoff. All right, well, you're fine, but you stretched in for it. You got to just take off. Eddie, swing pull to the back of the pit, and then let's go to steps. John, for this pole, go down 2 inches for your first takeoff. You're going to crush that pole. What are you doing with this step?
Moving out a little bit.
How much moving out? 4? I think you got to move out 6 or 8. That's it. That was it. He needed the room here. He was at 12 feet, roughly. Step was right here now. That's what you need. Okay? It's good to be back.
Jerry Cahill. Jerry, we wish you the best. Over the next couple of weeks, we know how hard it is, and you're truly amazing as an individual and as an athlete to all of us here at the Catholic High School League. Come on, one more big hand for Jerry Cahill.
Nice. The first breath I had after surgery was a little strange. My lungs felt so big that they felt like they were kind of bursting out of my chest. And I remember seeing the surgeon and telling him that I thought the lungs were too big. I thought he stuffed them in there. Because it was just kind of, it was a very weird feeling being able to breathe and to get that much air and oxygen into my lungs. They just felt huge. All right, what are we going with grip? 14. All right, 14 or 14.4 probably, right?
It was really good motivation. Seeing him there at my state championship meet. It was kind of like one of those fairy tale things, like he comes back in time for like the championship game.
Let's go, Greg!
I ended up winning, and it was definitely helped to him coming back in perfect timing.
I'm 3 months out from transplant. I'm doing quite well. I've been exercising. I don't have to do any aerosolized antibiotics anymore. I can jog without oxygen. But, you know, with your new lungs, there's always the risk of rejection and infection. Most people, after you have a transplant, you end up getting diabetes. So I have diabetes now. So I have to check my blood and I have to take insulin shots. I'm immune suppressed, so I take anti-rejection drugs. I take 40-something pills a day. Everybody's ready? Wow, look at this. Team Cahill. I hope I don't embarrass you out there. It's going to take me a long time.
think of the donor every day, and I'm thankful of that. Every day I wake up and I can go out and be involved in life, and that's what I look forward to. Right to there. We'll do it again, all right? In the back of my mind, yeah, I know what some of the statistics are, and you know, I know that if I have rejection, that I may need another transplant at some point. But that's not what I'm going to think about. I'm going to think about taking care of myself and enjoying each day.
Oh, you almost had it, Matthew. Oh, yes, push it. Yes. Look at that.
So when you're getting out there to exercise, make sure you're staying hydrated with lots of water and electrolyte drinks.
All right, let's go, coach.